Hey, this is the Well Advice Channel too. What I want to talk about today is the problem with conscious rap. So, when it comes to the topic of conscious rap, what I'm going to talk about when it comes to the problem with it, even though personally and logically speaking, more like, I don't think there's a problem with it. But what I want to talk about is a problem with their toxic mindset that a lot of conscious rappers have, is what I'll be talking about today. And not just conscious rappers, but people who listen to conscious music. So now that I've mentioned that, let's get started. So when it comes to the problem with conscious rap, when it comes to the mindset a lot of conscious rap has in general for that matter, is this whole mindset that that you have to either be them or you are against them. In other words, if you make music that doesn't necessarily talk about, revolution and this and that and so on and so forth, and you're actually just making music that just talks about maybe just entertainment, having a good time, partying, drinking, whatever, you name it, that it means that you're one of the ignorant black people and stuff, as well as their way of thinking that when it comes to their way of thinking that music shouldn't really be talking about materialism is bad, which J. Cole has definitely expressed that way of thinking, that he doesn't like materialism is bad, it shouldn't be talked about in music, all of this corrupt people and this and that, or it could be one thing or another. You should be talking about you know women and stuff in music and call them bitches, which I don't know how the fuck that is still a conversation we are having in 2025. But anyway, their way of thinking that pretty much music that is more meant for entertainment is bad for you and you shouldn't be consuming it, and you should only listen to music that is about revolution and this and that, and just in general to sum up the things that conscious rappers talk about in their music. And the simple answer to that question I have to simply say is that way of thinking is so fucking outdated, and not just outdated, even by the standards of the time, that was dumb. And that's actually the reason why historically, only until Kendrick Lamar has come around, you know, those type of people, that type of music more like has been extremely ostracized by the general mainstream black population. Because the truth of the matter is, okay, especially with the fact that it also, that way of thinking also attracts certain types of people, which if you've been around enough people or even a decent amount of people in life, there's always that one person who's a critic of everything, who likes to criticize everything. And, like the type of person who says, oh, I hate Christmas because Christmas is all about materialism. It's not actually about the family. Like pretty much the pseudo intellectual, slash pretentious person at times, that type of person, like the type of person who you'll watch a movie and you'll say, oh, you didn't get it, and they criticize everyone for not getting something, that type of person. And that's exactly what I'm talking about when it comes to conscious rap music, okay? Is this toxic mindset they freaking have. I'm not against conscious rap. Obviously, you can talk about whatever you want to talk about, but that mindset, okay? Because why the hell do I want to listen to something or put, in general, put myself in a situation where I listen to something and consume something where take a risk of attracting those people. So I could take a risk of being told off by someone. As we all know, okay, being told off is not something you want to experience. It's not a good feeling at all. It's humiliating, embarrassing, and it just doesn't feel good. So why the hell do I want to focus my mind on putting myself around something where I take the risk of getting told off, by someone who says, when I voice my opinion about a certain song or a certain album made by this conscious rapper, I take the risk of, well, you didn't understand it. You didn't really understand it. All you talk about is ignorant shit. Go listen to this type of music and this and that. Go listen to, Future, this and that, when I'm just giving that music a chance. And that's exactly what I'm trying to get at here. Why do I want to take a risk of looking at something when I take a risk when I look at that stuff of being surrounded by people who are pretentious and or slash pseudo intellectuals, whatever one of the two they are, and I have to take a risk of getting told off by it. And that way, if those type of people is also a big reason why um, conscious rap music has never taken off because no one wants to be around those people, and that's not even including the fact that the mindset is just not really making any sense though, because when you listen to music, sometimes you just want to listen to music for entertainment. Sometimes you want to listen to music that's enjoyable, that sells a fantasy, okay? Because that fantasy makes things interesting. It's a much more interesting story to hear for a musician when they talk about they came from the bottom and this and that, and that's their whole persona, more like, for that matter, for their rap career, and then you hear about them now living a high life. It's interesting, it's intriguing, it draws people in, instead of just them always being at the same level the whole time, which is something conscious rappers, the conscious rapper community would probably like. Oh, why do you have to talk about having more in life? Why do you have to talk about having jewelry, big clothing, and this and that that's expensive and all that type of stuff? Why can't you just be like everyone else? But that's boring. You want something that can sell to people, that can actually make people interested, for that matter, okay? And that's what they've never confronted, for that matter, okay? Not to mention that's not including the fact of the matter. When I listen to music, I don't want to just listen to music that just talks about, oh, women are classy all the time. Sometimes I just want to watch music where women are just asking in a sexual nature because it's entertainment. It's not something that's hurtful. It doesn't hurt you. It doesn't um change you or make you into someone that you're not or whatever. It's just entertainment in the first place. Their whole argument that they make is so freaking oversaturated and annoying. It's not even funny. It sounds like one of those something, I hate to say this because I know not all black women are like this, but like it sounds like something one of those bitchy black girls, like the ones who just think just because they get good marks in school that they're smart and they know everything, and stuff. Who and also the ones who like to tell people off for every little fucking little thing. Those type of people, for that matter. It sounds like when you say things, when you talk, when you say, oh, I hate materialism in music, I hate objectification of women and blah 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 blah, it sounds like something that they would say. And I hate those type of people, and I think a lot of people, more than you'd imagine, hate those type of people because they just ruin everything. Besides, the truth of the matter is, you know and music can be entertaining. It doesn't always have to be about revolution. It doesn't always have to be about this and that. It can sometimes just be entertaining, in honesty. Besides, just because something is talking about, this and that, materialism and this and that, doesn't mean they're more likely to want to be gang members or criminals. That way of thinking is so stupid and outdated. We've literally been in this society, for in North America especially, for decades exposed to um music, movies, media in general that talks about gangs and violence, if you want to go to even that level, or even just simply talking about materialism for that matter. And how many people do you actually see aspiring to be a criminal? In all honesty, barely anyone. Okay, the majority of people are law-abiding citizens. Even, yes, young black men in particular are law-abiding citizens. So the truth of the matter is this way of thinking that, oh, we are all this, we are all that, and this and that, you know, when it comes to people who like to listen to music that's more meant for entertainment, is so stupid and is outdated. And we have more than enough history to prove that it's false. Most people who become gang members and all that type of stuff become gang members because, simply put it, they didn't have a lot of opportunity. They live in poor communities. There's not much to do, and this and that. So they start selling drugs and stuff to make, well, money. When a majority of listeners of rap music, black and white, and everyone else for that matter, um, I grew up in middle class neighborhoods where you don't have to worry about that type of stuff. So most of them don't cause problems. So this whole way of thinking in general that, oh, it's gonna cause problems and this and that, is so fucking stupid. It is simply false. It is untrue. Um Conscious rap is good. I don't have a problem with it, but you could also make music talks about entertainment. And the more conscious the conscious rap community more like, continues having that way of thinking, they're going to turn people off from them and have people not really want to listen to them for that matter, okay? Because sometimes in life you can chill out. You don't have to always focus on social issues. You can just sometimes just spend time enjoying, listen to something that just meant for entertainment. And that's the truth of the matter. So anyway, this is my video. This is all I have to say. I hope you learned something new. And just remember, if you like this video, and videos like this, remember to sum this video up and hit the subscribe button. And this is all I have to say, and simply put them out. So bye.